Hey everyone, I'm 17-year-old writer Noah Barfield, author of that absolutely amazing action fantasy novel Legendland. Welcome to Writer's Corner. Thank you for joining me from wherever you're joining me from. Anyway, today I will be talking about NaNoWriMo. If you don't know what NaNoWriMo is, then what is wrong with you? I mean, it's okay, you're probably fine, but you should still know what NaNoWriMo is if you have any inclination towards writing whatsoever. Now, NaNoWriMo stands for National Novel Writing Month. We're on the 1st of November, until the end of November, you have the entire month of November, to write a 50,000 word novel. You are basically vomiting words and creativity onto pages. Now, there are plenty of ways to figure out how to do NaNoWriMo. I'll tell you a little bit about it, but I don't really feel the need to go into a ton of detail. I'm going to spend more time listing the benefits and then what NaNoWriMo is and what it isn't. Okay, so to make sure you submit those 50,000 words, I mean, you can handwrite or type or whatever you want to do, but you have to make sure that you submit the words in their little word counter processor thing. That way, yes, you have indeed done actual work. Congratulations, you're on track. Or not on track, or whatever, as long as you submit the words. So that's how you do it. And I've known people who have done NaNoWriMo in a week. I've known people who have done NaNoWriMo 3 or 4 years in a row and still never completed it. It really just does depend on what you're trying to do with NaNoWriMo, what you're hoping to accomplish. If you're just trying to get yourself writing, it's a great way to do it. You have friends and workshops around. You just type in your area and your little profile thing on NaNoWriMo, and it'll find workshops that are near you if they have any. It's also a great way to prove to yourself that you can, in fact, do the whole writing thing and write a novel. That is one thing NaNoWriMo is spectacular about. If you're ever like, oh my god, writing, ugh, and pretty much that exact sentiment, NaNoWriMo is a great way to get out of that writing funk thing and just write. Write like your life depends on it, because after about 15 days and minimal amount of sleep or socialization, you'll start to feel like it does. Like, I've invested so much time into this already. It basically reminds me of my Kickstarter, and I don't feel like doing that again. But I personally am not doing NaNoWriMo this year. I did NaNoWriMo in 2013. I did not do it last year because I was in the middle of editing a book. It was my book, Legendland. It was a pretty crucial moment. I was in an editing funk the first year that I did NaNoWriMo, and I just needed to break out of the procrastination writer's block sort of thing, so I did NaNoWriMo and completed it. I'm not doing NaNoWriMo this year because, well, I could do NaNoWriMo, but I'd have to stop my school, and I'd have to stop my YouTube videos. So, yeah, because right now I have work, and then I have school, and YouTube videos, and family stuff. If I stopped most of that, except work, I could do NaNoWriMo. I'm not going to do that. So, NaNoWriMo, great way to prove to yourself that you can do the whole writing thing. A good way to break out of writer's block, because it forces you to vomit words until you have some sort of coherent story, or incoherent, whatever. And it also proves to yourself that you can finish a novel. Now, I've known people who will hit the 50,000 word mark and they think to themselves, I haven't even finished my novel. This is just like halfway through. That's okay. You don't have to write more than 50,000, or you don't have to stop at 50,000 words. You don't have to be like, okay, my novel has to fit within this frame. No. I mean, once you make it 50,000 words, you've done it. If your novel ends up being 130,000 words, I know what that feels like, then that's okay, you know, but you've passed the 50,000 word mark. The novel I did for NaNoWriMo, okay, so the novel I did for NaNoWriMo, let me tie this in here. Alright, so NaNoWriMo, great way to prove to yourself that you can write. Not unless you are a particularly skilled writer and NaNoWriMo veteran, your novel, story, whatever, is not likely going to be an amazing work. It's probably going to fall short of your other works if you've done any other novels or any stories that you're even remotely proud of. It's probably going to fall short in terms of storytelling power, character development, because you might not think it in the beginning, but it's going to get to you. Writing continuously every day, or just typing, getting 50,000 words out in a short amount of time, no matter how short time that is, a month or less, that is draining as a writer. It just is. And your work is going to, at least mine did, and everyone that I know, everyone that I know or have talked to about NaNoWriMo, their work suffered for that. Now, do people go back and edit their NaNoWriMo novels into something that's actually glorious to behold, that is incredibly amazing and awesome? Yes, people do that all the time. Have I done that yet? No, I'm still working on Legendland. But I have. It's a great way also, if you are thinking about future projects, it's a great way to have something already written. You just have to go back and edit it and revise it. Maybe double the length of it if you're a writer like me. So, NaNoWriMo, it is not a way to get a masterpiece finished novel quickly. That's not what it is. You probably wouldn't even be able to put it on Amazon and get money for it. That's just how it would be. But it is a great way to get creativity going, and I honestly know of no greater writing exercise than NaNoWriMo in and of itself. I know there are several. NaNoWriMo is a great way of just connecting you with people. Around this time on YouTube, there are a lot of YouTubers out there that are doing NaNoWriMo. Local writers, if you find any local writers, they're probably doing NaNoWriMo. And if they don't, now you know what it is, and you can pressure them into doing NaNoWriMo with you. It's a great way also. It's just a great, like, coming-of-age experience as a writer. That's the best way I can describe it. I mean, you're most likely not going to get something absolutely fantastic from it. And by that, I mean, like, you might have a really fantastic core story, but you're probably not going to get this well-written, verbose masterpiece, most likely. But it's a great way to get something started, you know, even if you don't finish. And I should say, I have a problem not finishing, like, a task like that. You know, like, something that has a goal, I have to finish it. Because, like, I can't just stop halfway through a race. I have to finish it. Same thing with NaNoWriMo, same thing with my Kickstarter. I couldn't just, like, stop. Like, I've gotten close enough. I had to keep going until the very end. And in both cases, I, like, passed the mark that I needed. But it's completely okay not to finish NaNoWriMo, because you don't get anything from finishing NaNoWriMo besides this huge sense of accomplishment and a free manuscript that is ready to use, that is your own at a later date, or immediately, whatever you want to do. It's okay not to finish NaNoWriMo. It's perfectly acceptable, because it's not for everyone, and it's not easy, but it's a great way to at least get out of a writer's block. If you start writing in Nano and you're like, oh my god, this is fantastic, I can write again. Well, start working on your other story and just paste those new words into the word counter that they have, and you'll still finish Nano. It doesn't all have to be one coherent thing, and Nano deletes whatever you put in as soon as the words are counted, so they don't keep it, which means it's all yours. So, to recap, what NaNoWriMo is good for: getting out of writer's block, proving to yourself you can do the whole writing thing, finishing a novel, creating lots of stress, finding new people, drinking lots of coffee, a lot of things you're going to end up doing as a writer anyway, just in a short amount of time. NaNoWriMo is not a good way to catch up on your sleep, or to quit your caffeine addiction, nor will it probably create this, like, epic, great work of yours that you are incredibly proud of. It's probably going to look like word vomit, but it's going to have some shining jewel in there because you're an amazing writer, right? So, anyway, I encourage everyone to at least check out NaNoWriMo. Leave questions if you have them for me. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget. And as always, thank you for watching and continue to enjoy.